Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Friday on this day. We got a beautiful day out today, but don't let that fool you. We got a lot of changes in weather coming up, and I'll tell you about that in just a moment. On our show today, Juanita Skillman is here. She is the board president of United. They just had their annual meeting, so she's going to give you an update on that. Also, we have Dan Walsh here. Dan is one of the candidates for the Saddleback Valley Unified School District Board, so we'll get to know him. And from Alignment Healthcare, we have a couple guests that are coming on and tell you all about them. First time that they've come on and their services, their Medicare Advantage program and what they offer and what makes them different. And then we're going to bring you a segment from Sterling Financial. Now, there are no meetings today, so we can get right to the weather. And, you know, this is going to be a strange set of 5 to 7 days. We're starting today with a warm-up and going to be very nice. You probably noticed there was really no fog or marine layer out there this morning, so 79 degrees. Then tomorrow, look at this. We drop to about 68 degrees with a 40% chance of rain. And again, this is due to a couple factors that remnants of the tropical storm Sergio that is to our south. And then there's a cutoff low that is supposed to move down to this area. And I say supposed to, cutoff lows kind of do what they want. So if it moves down to this area, we're going to get about a 40% chance of rain throughout Southern California, so not just here. So 68 degrees tomorrow, but then look as we get to next week, Monday and Tuesday, this could possibly be our first Santa Ana wind event. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even in the Thursday, we could see some red flag warnings go up. Now, I have the low 80s here. As you can see, if anything, by the time we get to Wednesday, it'll probably be closer to the upper 80s. If that high builds a little bit quicker, then those temperatures will be warmer than what I have. So, you know, from just about anything you could want is happening over about the next week or so. Let's look around California. And really, most of the state, they already had their little bit of rain up north, is going to be absolutely beautiful up in the northern area, really Central Coast all the way up. You can see sunny everywhere you go, even up there on the North Coast in Eureka. They've got wonderful weather everywhere. Yosemite and Tahoe, just beautiful warm fall weather. But down here, as I said, we're expecting rain on Saturday, even into Palm Springs. They'll be up to about 84 degrees. This is not a real cold rain at all, but these areas in Southern California should expect, like I said, rain everywhere. Now, that could start overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Again, if it's this cutoff low kind of sits where everyone thinks it's going to, that should pull up the moisture from the tropical storm that is down in the Mexico area. Actually, it's moving across the top of Baja, and then it'll eventually make its way into Arizona. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Keep the same Medicare health plan for years without questioning whether it's still the right plan. It's always beneficial to review your plan, and now is your chance. The Medicare annual election period, October 15th through December 7th, is the one time a year you can sign up, change, or disenroll from a Medicare health plan. Call me for a free consultation or come meet me every Wednesday during the enrollment period at the Regency Laguna Woods to find the plan that's right for you.
You have a great day today.
Oh, I respect it.
There's your meals, and we'll see you later.
Thank you very much for coming.
Bye-bye.
This is AgeWell Senior Services. Won't you make it yours?
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Exciting, elegant, and coming soon. Your on-screen guide is going HD, the same functionality, a sleek new design, and easier to use features. Automatically tunes to the highest resolution, and menus, icons, and logos with modern colors and crisp text.
Welcome back. With me right now from United Board is their board president, Juanita Skillman, and you folks just had your annual meeting.
We did. And I encourage anybody who didn't get to see it to check it next Wednesday when it'll be on VTV again, or you can always check it on YouTube anytime, because we had a wonderful slide production that our communications department helped us with, of what we think is our biggest accomplishments for the last year. And they included a lot of things like financial, the budgets, the assessments, and our reserves, which are increased because we have so many multi-year projects now. The property values is always a big thing because a lot of times people only hear the negatives. We've sold less units this year, et cetera. But we have to realize that it's not particular to Laguna Woods Village. When we had some charts that showed where we compared it to, say, Aliso Viejo or Laguna Hill, and they were almost exactly alike. I mean, the trends, the ups and downs and stuff. So it's the economy, and it's there. But the prices have gone up considerably. They're going up. So each of our units is worth more than when we bought into the corporation. We have a lot of maintenance projects going on, which is probably the biggest slice of our budget. So we have so many different things, waste lines, electric panels, and sidewalk repairs, and we've put in 37 new walkway lighting pieces. So there's just an awful lot going on.
Yeah, there is.
Continually, and it doesn't stop at the end of the fiscal year. Carries over, so we have a lot of long-term projects. One of the big things we did with our governing documents is to upgrade the stock certificate. We were getting a lot of confusion because our old stock certificate said membership certificate. And it really is a stock certificate that allows you to apply for membership, and it's not automatic membership. So if you inherit it, you still have to qualify to be a member. You can always have the stock and sell it. It's an asset that they have. But a lot of people said, but I have a piece of paper here that says I'm a member. No. We got earthquake insurance for the first time, and inspection of unoccupied units, because we were having a problem with people who, for one reason or another, and there are quite a few, just didn't live there. And it's not like our snowbirds or sunbirds that lived here part of the year. It's ones that were just left vacant, sometimes as an inheritance or whatever. And we found that had been having quite a few problems with the vacant units, where there might be a pipe burst or a backup or all kinds of different things. And if there's nobody there, living there, and it just gets worse and worse and worse.
You're not gonna
know.
So
we put in anything that's vacant for 6 months gets evaluated.
And I recall you telling me that sometimes it's been years.
Oh, yeah.
It's shocking to me.
It is.
Yeah.
And because they keep paying the assessments.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's very hard for us to know that it's a vacant unit because with 6,323 units, if the assessments keep being paid, we don't know that they're not there.
Yeah.
We don't check the death notices and things like that. So there are times when somebody passes away and we don't know about it for years and years and years. So we're trying to get around those. One of the things, and I've talked about this before, is in our disciplinary hearings for our members, they just get something that's saying harassment, nuisance, or clutter. And they say, what do you mean? What is it exactly that you don't like that we're doing? And so we have new policies that we put in that defined all of those, and a matrix that shows how we go about the discipline progress and that kind of thing. So I was really pleased with that. The landscaping did water saving irrigation systems and water efficient plants that we replaced turf with. And we, as you know, because we've been on a few times talking about the testing that we're doing on organic herbicides. And we get there were a lot of people at the landscaping committee yesterday. They want it Roundup stopped now, as Third did. And we feel that it was our responsibility to do due diligence, and before we said stop, what are we going to replace it with?
Right.
And so we have 5 herbicides, organic herbicides, that we are testing to see how effective they are.
And it's all things you have to look at, because the nuisance weeds have to be taken out one way or another.
Right.
And if it gets down to, eliminating some of that stuff is great.
Right.
However, is it going to be more staff time now to hand dig things
hand
out,
weeding,
or whatever?
In as large an area as we have is kind of
right. So you got to balance it.
Right. And some of the organic herbicides cost anywhere from 3 to 6 times as much.
Right. Yeah.
And so we have to weigh how much we use and how they're doing it and everything. So that all works. Now, of course, because it was our annual meeting, we announced, first of all, the directors that were leaving us, and that's Pat English and Don Tibbetts, who have been long-term board members both on us and GRF. And in fact, both of them are going back on GRF. So we're not really losing them for governance in the village.
We should say they're going to be candidates.
Well, but there are 3 candidates for 3 seats.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
And nominations have closed, so we pretty well know who they're going to be.
I didn't realize
we
that.
still have to go through the formality of a corporate members meeting to do it, but we have 3 candidates for 3 seats. Janie Durrell and Carl Randazzo were re-elected to the board, which we were very pleased with. And then we elected 2 new members to the board, who I think are going to be really an asset to our board, and that's Elsie Addington and Sue Margolis.
Right.
And we welcome them to board, and we're going to be having our annual planning organizational meeting coming up the first part of November, before our November meeting, an all-day where we do strategic planning, where we go over all of the duties and resolutions and responsibilities of a director and that kind of thing. And we talk about when they're on TV6.
Yeah.
And we talk about when they have new member orientation and just the different kinds of things that a lot of people don't realize that board members do.
Yeah.
So we went over there. Now, then our attorney, Jeff Beaumont, did the oath of office. Now, that's something that's unique to United, and we instituted that 2 years ago, and we feel it's important, especially when it's televised, for all of our residents to understand what these people are saying that they're going to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all over, everybody does an oath of office.
Right.
But we haven't done it for our board members. And so we started that 2 years ago, and so he did give the oath of office to all of the 11 members of the current board, the 2 new plus the 9 that were coming on. And we just feel that that's going to help everybody realize what the responsibilities of a board director are.
Yeah, very
which
good.
is important to us. So we did have that great slideshow, and I hope people, if you didn't see it, will tune in either on Wednesday or to YouTube, or on your computer you can go back on Granicus.
Yes. And
through
watch it
our
there.
website and watch it there.
Yeah. And you know, people don't know the date. It was last Tuesday, just a few days ago. So look, what was that, the 9th? Yes, it was the 9th.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, that way they know they're on the right meeting.
But
and all.
again, people underuse our website, which has been so improved. There's still a lot of people that don't understand that we have it in many different languages. And when you go to lagunawoodsvillage.com and get our homepage, you can check on the language. I think it's up in the upper left-hand corner, and pick whatever language you want it in.
Yeah.
And instead of just all English, we go over a lot of these. As I say, Granicus, with you all's help, films everything for the board meetings and some of our committee meetings.
Yeah.
And so they can go on and watch those in the privacy of their own home. And it works out. But the last thing that we did was we had election of new officers.
That's true.
And I was very pleased to be reelected as president. We have a new first vice president, and that's Carl Randazza.
Right.
Our second vice president is Cash Akrakar. Our secretary, Maggie Blackwell, is repeating, and our treasurer, Gary Morrison, was also reelected to that position. So we have a good board and a good executive committee, and we're looking forward to the coming year, to serving our residents in the best ways that we can.
All right, very good. I look forward to, I'll meet the new board members. I'm sure they'll be on at one point or the other.
Right.
And then, of course, seeing
Well,
you usually once a month after the meeting?
Usually after the board meeting. And what we do is we have the committee chairs of our standing committees that come in the Friday after they have their committee meeting to report. So we always try to keep everybody informed, and we tell them, watch on Friday mornings, because that's where you get the scoop of what went on the previous week.
Right, right. Very good. Great to see you.
Thank
you. Take care of yourself.
Okay,
good
I
to see you back.
appreciate it.
We'll be back in just a minute. All right.
I choose to let someone else do the cooking.
I choose to let someone else do the driving.
Choose to experience the good life at Villa Valencia in Laguna Hills. Call or visit us today.
It takes a team effort to provide compassionate care. At Health Plus Medical Supply and El Toro Pharmacy, your personal attention is our top priority. We have everything you need, including stair lifts, rollators, knee walkers, wheelchairs, power wheelchairs, scooters, and car lifts. And we provide all maintenance and installation. Health Plus is located inside El Toro Pharmacy, where we provide the same compassion for your pharmacy and drugstore needs. Located in Moulton Plaza.
Do you hear but not understand? I have good news for you. A proprietary system for verifying hearing correction, verified best speech clarity, is now available through the All-American Hearing Network. This means hearing improvement can now be verified and documented. Your individual hearing correction is guaranteed in writing. Call today to reserve your complimentary private consultation and experience word clarity dialed back into focus on the spot. Try AMP, the world's smallest hearing aid at an unbelievably small price, just $750. It's ready to go in one visit, comfortable to wear, and virtually invisible when worn. Yes, you can now have verified best speech clarity. Hear every word. Call today to reserve your complimentary private consultation and experience word clarity dialed back into focus on the spot, risk-free.
We all know there's no place like home. You want to stay in your own home, but day-to-day tasks are getting more difficult to manage. Acticare is the solution. We are the trusted care partner in your community with 5-star reviews. You've taken care of others all your life. Now is the time to let us help you. In-home care is a safe and effective way to help you remain living independently in the comfort of your own home.
Acticare, responsive in-home care. Your first day is free.
Well, I'd like to welcome Dan Walsh, and he is a candidate for the Saddleback Valley Unified School District Board. And you know, this is election time. There are several members running for the board, and you are one of them. Welcome, sir.
Well, thank you for having me on.
It's great to have you here. I love having the candidates on from our local districts.
It's great to meet with everybody.
Yeah, it's nice. So let's get your background. I understand that you are a geography teacher at Saddleback College.
I am. I'm a geography teacher at Saddleback College, so I get the result of the students coming out of the Saddleback district at Saddleback College. I also have a child in the district, and she's in 3rd grade at one of the district schools, and so I kind of have a vested interest in the success of the school district, because not only just for my daughter, but for what I get as students at Saddleback College.
Yeah, because we all know that for a lot of folks, a lot of kids that go to the district here, the natural progression, if they don't move right on to a 4-year university, is normally Saddleback College.
That's correct, yeah. We get a lot of students from both this district and Capistrano.
Yeah. So you see how all that dovetails together.
Oh, I do. There's a relationship between the K through 12 and the community college district that I'd like to see fostered even more.
And is that one of the reasons you want to be
That
on
is
the
one of the
board?
reasons, yeah. It's twofold, like I said, with my daughter, but also I can see a good working relationship with the community college district as well.
And if you do get elected, you'll still remain at Saddleback College?
Yes, yeah. I'd still be.
And a lot of the board members have other jobs.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's not unusual.
Yeah. What are some of the priorities that you'd like to foster within the district if you get on the board?
In really no particular order, I'd like to see improved communication with both the parents and the teachers and the staff. I realize now as a parent that I'm kind of finding out about things after decisions have been made. There's often surprises that show up in my email or announcements from the teacher that I would like to have known about in advance. Obviously budget's a concern, because with declining enrollment that we've got declining revenue from the state, and I'd like to see that doesn't affect students if we can avoid it at all. Let's try and keep those cuts out of the classroom and look for other avenues for either revenue, like working with the community college district, or to minimize the impacts on students with the losses, and also safety. The students are our responsibility in the district, and we have to make sure they're safe. At my daughter's school, there's no cell phone coverage, and that always concerns me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It always concerns me if there is an emergency, what would happen? What would happen?
I actually find that surprising.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah. Well, that's something you can help work on if that happens.
I hope to do so.
You know, speaking of, you mentioned surprises. Well, one of the things the district has implemented within the elementary schools are standards-based grading versus the ABCD. The reason I say surprise is because a lot of the teachers, this may be a very good thing, but it was kind of put on them very quickly. In fact, it was implemented, I think, for many of the teachers a week before back to school night. And they didn't get much training on this. So a couple questions on that. One, how would you improve that so they're well trained ahead of time in implementing this entirely new system? And also, would you like to see the standards-based grades move on eventually into the intermediate and high schools?
I agree that the rollout could have been handled better.
Right.
Now, with my child being in the lower grades, that's normal for kindergarten, first, second grade, is to have the standards.
Right, you're right.
So I was familiar with it,
yeah.
But I was surprised that it was rolled out so suddenly, and again, it was an email or a notification at back to school night that this is what this district was going to be doing, and then talking to parents in the upper grades at the elementary school, they were just as surprised, because some of them had letter grades the year before, and now they're going to have the standard based. So I think the district could have done a better job of rolling it out to the parents, but also to the teachers. That they're still trying to figure out how it's going to work, and the grades are due within a few weeks.
Right.
So that could have been done better. Now, should it go up to the upper grades? I don't know, because I know that one of our criteria for admittance to the colleges is your grade point average.
Right.
And how well you did in certain subject matters. So I think we need time to work on that, and I think hopefully the district has learned something from the quick rollout that we need to do the next phase, if we do the next phase, a little more carefully.
Right, and I know some colleges do use something that similar to that, but the confusing thing is for people is if your child gets a 4 in something, it doesn't mean, that used to mean 4.0, it's an A, doesn't necessarily mean that anymore.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It's not just
helping
to train the,
get.
You're right, it's not just helping to train the teachers, it's going to be re-educating the parents as well.
Yeah, new math, right? Which happens every few years.
Yeah.
You know, one of the good things, but also sometimes it can be a negative thing, is over the years, and this is obviously mandated by the state, is inclusion of special needs kids in the classroom. And that, of course, runs the gamut. However, there are times, and I know this firsthand from teachers that I know in the district, and I know this firsthand from even where my niece goes to school up in the Bay Area, that you may have a special needs child that is very disruptive in the class. No fault of the child, you know, that's the way it is. However, it becomes so disruptive that sometimes the teachers get injured, sometimes the kids get injured, sometimes they have to shut down the classroom for an hour or so. And in many cases, often, I should say often, not many, they even have to call the sheriff in. Not so much to take the kid away, but just to get the parents to come in and calm the situation down. How could this be done better?
Well, my heart goes out to anybody whose family members have to deal with this type of situation, because I know it can be really, really difficult. As a board member, again, I mentioned it before, safety for the children and also safety for the teachers should be paramount. And we need to make sure that everybody's safe in these types of environments. I can only speak anecdotally with my daughter in her situations that there had been disruptive students in one of her classrooms, actually 2 of her classrooms, and they had an aide who would come in kind of as a reaction to what was going on, and then it was often too late.
Right.
And once they got a full-time aide in the classroom with the students, things went so much better, because you could help minimize the likelihood of it escalating with somebody there, and then somebody who could be dedicated to that student if an event was happening, as opposed to it disrupting the entire classroom. So I would be an advocate for A, relying on experts in the field, but also B, let's having more aides along with the teacher in the classroom, maybe co-teaching or different scenarios that have worked. But we do need to support all of the students in this and provide what's needed so it doesn't escalate to the point where it is disrupting the entire classroom.
Right, and you know, and again, it is, in the long run, it's a very good thing, but sometimes it gets to the point when that child, this is not the proper environment for them, but you've got to work with the parents that agree with that. If they don't, it can go on for months.
Yes, and I've seen that happen, yes.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about you know, some of the different types of schooling that is within the district. And primarily what I'm talking about are the magnet schools and also the charter schools. And when it comes to the magnet schools, you have ones that are specialized in the STEAM, you have dual immersion with GATES, you have the International Baccalaureate, and I think that's
it for now, yes.
Is that Santiago? No, the STEAM is Santiago. I forget where the International Baccalaureate, Linda Vista, I think.
Vista.
Yeah. So, talk to me about those. Would you like to see more of these implemented, and how do you feel about the charter schools as well?
I like that our students and our parents within the district have choices as far as what schools they can go to, including the magnet schools, because I think the magnet schools are great for parents who want to address the special desires of their family or the children or their skill set is what's going on. I mean, we've talked about it with our own household, what we would do with our child.
Right.
I like those choices. I like what we've done with the magnet schools. We're using teachers whose skill sets are best suited for that, and they're looking now that they're going to be very, very successful. So I'm really happy with our magnet schools. As far as expanding it, we have opportunity maybe to do it in the arts. And so that's something we can research into and look at if that's going to be advantageous for our school, because I know there's been a successful one in Santa Ana. The charter schools, though, I have concerns, I guess would be one way to state it, about the charter schools, because sometimes they're run for profit. And, and I don't like that students are being used as a profit center for a business as opposed to what's the best educational process for the students. I mean, they have a place in some districts where there might be problems. I don't think there's problems in our district, but there might be other needs for students. So I'm mixed on charter schools.
Because the charter schools, the money follows the student.
The money follows students. The other problem is that they're not accountable. We don't know how the money's being spent sometimes. I know in Capo District they had a problem with some of the financial issues in a charter school. So the lack of accountability concerns me just as a taxpayer. And even if my student isn't going to that school, it does concern me.
All right. Again, the election comes up on the, I think it's the 6th, but prior to that, there's going to be a forum we want to tell people about. And this is going to be a candidate forum, and this is going on Wednesday the 24th, and you're all invited to go there. It's at the up at the school district boardroom, which is off, it's called Peter Hartman Way. It's by Geronimo, it's right up there. So not far away. This is going to be happening on Wednesday, October 24th from 7 to 8 o'clock. It's done by the League of Women Voters. There are 4 candidates total, so you will be there. 2 positions are going to be open on the board because I think they revolve every...
That's correct. Every 2 years, either 3 positions or 2 positions come up.
So you're going to be there?
Yes, I will.
All right.
I look forward to seeing everybody there.
All right, very good. Dan, thank you very much for coming on.
Ken, thank you for having me on.
We appreciate it, and good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, you take care, and we'll be right back.
Hiring a realtor you trust is the first step in selling your home. Selecting an escrow company that can safeguard your money and personal information throughout the transaction is the next step. Escrow Options will guarantee the safety of your personal information and funds from the risks of wire fraud and cyber theft. Choose the escrow company that works for you. Escrow Options Group, protecting consumer assets in escrow since 2005.
Kiana Lee. Today, we're talking with Dr. Christine Chung. Today's topic is gum disease. Doctor, what do we need to know about gum disease? Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gum disease is an infection of the tissue that support and surround your teeth. It's a major cause of tooth loss in adults, but it's an easy fix.
Thank you, doctor. So don't wait, people. Come on in and get your 7-day dental smile.
Maxi Comfort from Golden is the most comfortable lift recliner in the world. Its patented technology glides smoothly into a variety of positions not found on most recliners. Everyone loves the programmable auto-drive control. You can lift and recline, watch TV or sleep, and enjoy the feeling of weightlessness in zero gravity. Made by American workers and backed by the industry's best warranties. Feel relaxed in a Maxi Comfort lift recliner. Contact your local Golden retailer today.
Over the past 20 years, BreastLink has successfully treated thousands of women across Southern California. Our doctors like Dr. Lisa Curcio have helped women overcome numerous health challenges. With her experience, compassion, and the high quality of care she gives to every patient, Dr. Curcio is also a breast cancer survivor. She offers patients the newest and most effective surgical treatment options. Doctors like Dr. Curcio are the reason BreastLink delivers the care you deserve with the quality you expect. Whether you need us now or later, we're always here.
If you have Medicare, you got to get Alignment Health Plan's Black Card. It's a member-only benefit, unlike anything I've ever seen, giving you access to one-on-one health support any time of day or night. Need to schedule an appointment or need a ride there? They'll take care of it. Now you can talk to a doctor 24 hours a day. Call them and get a card of your own, and all the benefits you deserve, too.
Well, you just saw that spot for Alignment Healthcare, and I'd like to welcome on a couple guests from Lyman Healthcare for the first time that you folks have been on. First, I'd like to welcome Christina Simons. You are the Vice President of Sales.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much for having us today.
Yeah, great to have you here. And Dr. Arda Bakshande, and you are the Senior Medical Officer.
That's right.
For Lyman Healthcare.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure to have you both come on. First, I'm going to go to Christina. And what is Alignment Healthcare?
Alignment Health Plan. Actually, we're homegrown right here in Orange. And we offer Medicare Advantage HMO and HMO special needs plans for Medicare eligibles. We currently service for next year 8 counties, including right here in Orange. And what makes us very unique and different is, in addition to our rich benefit offerings, we actually combine that with a very unique delivery of care model, which actually Dr. B here can definitely describe in more detail.
Tell me all about that.
Sure. So, you know, we're about 5 years old, and when I came on about 4.5 years ago, one of the things that we talked about was how do we create a model of care that's really built around the senior. And so I took my experience not only as a physician, but watching my mother, my uncles, and my aunts take care of my 2 at the time 92-year-old grandmothers who are now 96. You know, it was interesting to see how the dynamic in healthcare is so difficult as we age.
Yeah.
And so we built a healthcare platform really centered around seniors to be able to go into not only the home to see patients if they need to be seen there, or provide them with services to bring them to their doctor's appointments, pharmacy, wherever it might be, partnering with people like Lyft or Uber to get them, get them a ride to be able to come into the pharmacy if they're not able to drive. And so it's really built around the idea that we should put the patient before anyone else. And if you do that, good things happen for everybody.
And that's a concern for a lot of folks, for seniors, is that getting to the doctor or the specialist or whatever the testing that needs to be done is often quite difficult.
Absolutely.
And this is where you folks kind of help that need, right?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways we look at what are the barriers to care and things that you might need. So we offer case managers, social workers to all of our members that if they can help coordinate their care with whoever it might be something as simple as helping them get that ride that they need. And moving forward and making it a lot easier. And I think, Christina, you can talk a little bit about our new programs where we're able to, with one call, really solve most of the issues that patients have. So I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Absolutely. And we're going to roll out the buzz about our new access, which is on-demand personalized care. It's actually a concierge opportunity for our Medicare members. Basically, in addition to their member ID card, we're actually going to be providing all of our members with this black access card. And what it will allow them to do is basically 365 days of the year, 24 hours in the day, 7 days a week, access to speak to a live representative and help them navigate through their services. So how do they access their transportation, their vision, their dental, their post-discharge meals, all the things that they may need help and assistance with. The second thing that the card does, which we're really excited about rolling out for 2019, is 24/7 access to a doctor. So we will be rolling out a telehealth opportunity.
You're gonna be up a lot, okay?
I'm already up.
All right.
Exactly. But we also have a rewards program where this will actually be able to be used as a credit card as well. So they'll be able to go into select pharmacies and be able to load that on. So
very nice.
We're super excited
now,
about that.
you know, you mentioned a couple things. One is navigating this system because this isn't like, you know, years ago, you basically had your doctor. It wasn't even called a primary care provider. It was your doctor.
Yes. Right.
You had your preferred hospital. And that was about it, you know, and whoever was your insurance company. A lot more difficult today with the different programs that are out there. And it's hard for folks to navigate through that.
And I think that's why you need someone to help you through it. Not only people who, you know, like myself and watching my family, you know, go through the pains of coordinating care, but having a clinical team that actually understands that. It's very personal to us, and creating a model that we don't want you as a patient to go through that, because it's the last thing I want you to worry about when you're ill.
Yeah.
You're already sick. You don't need to worry about how do I access what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And so by creating a level,
true.
Someone you can trust, really, that you call, that person knows about you, knows your healthcare information, and can help you navigate to where you need to go quickly, timely, and in a way that you not only deserve but want to be treated is also really important.
Yeah. And you mentioned special needs, because there are programs out there, and if I'm correct, people who might be diabetic or...
Correct.
I think there's 3 or 4 of them, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So actually in Orange, we actually have multiple products, and depending on the type of condition for that senior, we'll put them on the plan that's best for them.
Yeah.
So we do have a regular traditional plan that will be the most popular, obviously, during the annual enrollment period, which is October 15th through December 7th.
Yeah.
We also have HMO special needs plans designed for folks that have either diabetes or a heart condition. We also have a product that's designed for folks that are full Medi. That's the folks that have Medicare and Medicaid assistance.
Oh, okay.
So low-income subsidy.
Okay. And one of the things that, I mentioned years and years ago, it was easier to navigate the system. However, years and years ago, they didn't do what's now called wellness or preventative type medicine. Right. It was more reactionary. And now we have the technology to, in many cases anyway, to be able to kind of look at the future and what that person may or may not have to look at and be concerned about, right?
Yeah. I'm actually glad you brought that up. So we were doing something, it's been a project of mine for the last 4 years, and I have a team that I work with on a daily basis where we've created what we call our clinical command center. And what this does is it looks at the patient's healthcare data, their pharmacy information, their diagnoses, the hospital they may have gone to, lab information, and the computer actually goes through and to make it very simple, it kind of predicts what's likely to happen next in terms of either your disease state of diabetes is getting worse or might get worse. And it actually triggers an alert and sends it to a case manager or a nurse so that they can intervene and say, hey, this is what's going on. And I'll give you a really simple example is we've done very well on pharmacy adherence because we actually have this running, again, on a daily basis that refreshes every 15 minutes and looks for, if you missed your medication, what's going on? So you didn't pick up your prescription or the prescription has a gap. We know that if you're a diabetic and you miss taking your insulin for a period of time, not only is your blood sugar going to get higher, but there's long-term effects of the diabetes. But we actually have a pharmacy team that's looking at these alerts every day on a minute-by-minute basis and then calling members and saying, hey, what's going on? Do we need to help you get to the pharmacy? Is that the problem? Is it that you don't need a refill, or you need a refill but your physician wasn't able to do it? We'll actually connect you to the doctor so we can get that done. Or is it easier for us to do mail order and actually have it mail ordered to your home so you never have to leave the home and your pharmacy benefit can be done and brought straight to you in a 90-day supply at home. To really make it more convenient for you as a patient to not have to go out of your way to worry about your health care.
And you also have a program where you can help homebound patients. And I did mention that for some folks getting out, but they're still able to, it's the transportation. They can still get out, it's just finding a way to do it. But there are folks that are primarily homebound for whatever reason.
And so, again, is speaking from experience and looking at my own family, is I do have a grandmother that's homebound, and how important it is for her to see a clinician, and lucky for her she has a grandson who's a clinician who can come and see her, but not everyone has that. So we need to be able to provide care in that way for our population, and that's why we built our home-based program to allow not only nurse practitioners and PAs to go into the home, but physicians and RNs, health coaches, to really help on the idea of wellness. I think we call healthcare in this country, healthcare, where in turn it's actually really sick care, and we wait for people to get sick.
Yeah.
But we should really be striving towards the health of our membership, and that's what we're really trying to do.
All right, very good. Again, folks, enrollment begins in, is it today? Today,
No,
Monday.
it's
Monday this
Monday.
15th
Monday.
to December 7th. And of course, when you're looking at any program, you want to look at the formulary if you're taking certain drugs and how it fits in. And you can find out if it's right for you. But folks,
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for
so
both
much for
coming
having
on
us.
today. And if you want more information, you can go to alignmenthealthplan.com. There's a number on the screen as well, 888-979-2247. I'd like to thank Christina and Dr. B for coming on today. That's a little bit easier for me to say,
Yeah, it's
if you don't mind.
That's what I tell everybody to call me.
All right, thank you, sir. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you very much.
Again, a pleasure. Thank you.
We'll be right back. You know, it's
Once I came to Alignment, things changed.
Here, they take time with you, and if there's any question, they answers it.
It's a good place to go because those people there care about you.
They are a compassionate group. It's almost like you're coming to a second home.
Well, I'm here in front of this beautiful sycamore tree with Catherine Bryans. You are a trustee with the History Center. So tell me how the History Center and the wonderful Aliso Creek area and these wonderful trees kind of came together.
And the
guides, yes.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure being in front of something that's older than I am. It's always a good thing. But I think the important thing is that we had a lot of people come into the History Center and ask us if there's any guide to any of the trees in the village. And we went, no, not that we're aware of. And it was so repetitive that we decided maybe this is something we should do. And fortunately, another trustee, Pat Wilkerson, is on our board, and she's an incredible photographer. She also was a photographer of the 50th anniversary.
Right.
So the big coffee table book that are still available. And so working with Jean, they identified the trees and came out here. They did all the walking, all the research, put it together. Pat put together prototypes, and then it was my job to go out and find some funding. So I spoke with then manager Lori Moss prior to her departure, and I said, this is what we're doing. Can you introduce me to some businesses that might be available to pay for the printing? History Center is a nonprofit organization, and we're independent of the Golden Rain Foundation or VMSI. And she looked at me and she said, we're going to do it. And I went, all right, there's going to be 3 sets. This is Aliso Creek. The next one coming out is Friendship Walk, which is closer to the History Center. And the third is going to be on the Serpentine Walk. So we are delighted as an organization within this community to be able to provide this information to the residents. That's what we do, and here it is.
Well, when you talk about history here in the village, I mean, I think there's nothing more precious than the trees that have been here, whether it's this sycamore that's over 400 and some odd years old, 465, or some of these trees that maybe were planted 20 years ago, 50 years ago. They are part of the living history here.
They are, and they were conceptualized and started by Ross Cortese. He loved his trees. And if you think about this area prior to this, we were the first property that was purchased from the Moulton Ranch. That was grazing land, and they grew beets, and there were no trees if you look at pictures. So when you sit around and look about the 35,000 trees or something that's in this village, it's amazing what he's able to do. And since then, the landscape department has continued. If they lose a tree, they replace it. Not necessarily, but he chose trees from all over the world.
Right.
And the golden rain was his favorite. Hence we have the GRF board and the foundation. So it started at the beginning with him, with a vision for this community to be tree lined so people could walk and recreate and do that, and he really pulled it all together for us.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, this was one time just grazing land. People go up the freeway a little, they can still see some of the chaparral, and that's what it looked like.
Yeah. It's like the old days when I was driving from Pasadena, I could see the Matterhorn at Disneyland. That's not happening anymore. There's too much growing around it. But it's a wonderful place to work, and it's a wonderful place to be, and it thrills us at the History Center that folks have the opportunity to have something that we were able to help produce.
Well, thank you to all the volunteers at the History Center. What are your hours over there?
Monday through Friday from 10 to 2. We're there a little later on Thursday because we also have the docent tours come through on Thursday. And since it's an all-volunteer, not staff-driven, it's important for us to give our volunteers a break. So those are the hours, unless somebody wants to come in and fill in some extra hours for us, that would be great. And we are closed Saturday and Sunday, but we can also contact us if you need to get there in an hour that you can't during the day. Say if you're working, you really wanted to come in and talk about something, maybe your parents lived here or something, just to locate information.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure coming out here today, and folks, once again, come on down here to the Aliso Creek Park area, take a nice stroll. You can pick up one of these brochures at many locations and walk through and check out all these beautiful trees. Just maybe if you hear something falling from the monkey puzzle tree, you might want to stand back. Walk away. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Through my window, I see the first sunlight, and I feel the warm ocean breeze. I see the waves that lulled me all night. That's what my window brings me.
Look at this.
That view is $1 million.
It's amazing we can look at these kinds of places within our budget.
You don't have a bad view from here anywhere you look.
It's all about the view. Sunday night is beach night. Sunday night at 8, only on HGTV.
Well, hi, neighbor. Today we have a great movie for you. Won't You Be My Neighbor? This is a documentary about Fred Rogers, and we are going to show you the clip from there, and I'll get back to you about the other movie coming up on Monday. We'll be right back.
Program for children made its unauspicious debut on station WQED in Pittsburgh. Its host, Fred Rogers.
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
I want to tell you something.
What would you like to tell
I like you.
I like you, my dear. Thank you very much for telling me that.
If you take all of the elements that make good television and do the exact opposite, you have Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Low production values, simple set, unlikely star. Yet, it worked.
Hello. I've always felt that I didn't need to put on a funny hat or jump through the hoop to have a relationship with a child.
He was always trying to get a message across in every show. A week on death.
What does assassination mean?
On divorce.
Some people get married, and after a while, they're so unhappy that they don't want to be married anymore.
He was radical. I know everyone says that, but he was radical.
They didn't want black people to come and swim in their swimming pools. My being on the program was a statement for Fred.
A neighborhood was a place where, at times that you felt worried, scared, unsafe, would take care of you.
He had a singular vision of kindness and love.
Love is at the root of everything. All learning, all relationships, love or the lack of it. Children have very deep feelings, just the way everybody does. There must be times when you do feel blue. I'm not feeling blue right now, though.
Me neither.
Won't you be my neighbor? Well, I suppose it's an invitation. It's an invitation for somebody to be close to you. The greatest thing that we can do is to help somebody know that they're loved and capable of loving. Won't you please, won't you please, please won't you be my neighbor?
I am really looking forward to this. We're going to bring you this movie, this documentary today at 2 o'clock and at 7 o'clock. I think you will really enjoy this. I've seen a similar documentary that was on PBS, and it was just absolutely wonderful. So tune in today. Runs about a little over an hour and a half, so it's not very long. Then our movie on Monday is a comedy drama called Tully, and this stars Charlize Theron. And it's about a mom who's giving birth to her third child. And even though she has a very loving husband, she is just tired and spent. And so she decides to hire a nanny who at first turns out to be, well, someone she wasn't quite expecting. But in the long run, they form a special bond and friendship. Tully will be on Monday. It's rated R, primarily for language and situations. And it too runs a little over an hour and 30 minutes. It's an hour and 35 minutes. And it came out in 2018. So those are our movies coming up. Now here we go with our weather. And a hot day today. Well, hot compared to what we've had. We're going to raise the temperature about 5 or 6 degrees today. But then tomorrow, we got a chance of rain coming in, about a 30 to 40% chance, and it could come in late overnight tonight, really, which technically would be very early Saturday morning, and may spill into Sunday in certain areas of Southern California. But then we get to next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're looking at Santa Ana wind conditions, and the heat will rise. I have in the low 80s. If the high pressure expands a little more than that, then all those temperatures will be warmer than what I have there. So we're going from, we have below normal temperatures to a fairly warmer day today, to dropping by maybe 10 degrees tomorrow, and then Santa Ana wind conditions into next week. So whatever you want, we have for you. I just hope the Santa Ana winds are not too bad and don't certainly cause any fire danger. Tune to us on Monday, our show. We're going to have Congresswoman Mimi Walter. She's once again running for this district. Steve Parsons from Third Mutual, Joan Milliman, and Barbara Walsh from Friends of the Village. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.